Hey class, it's Mr. Cloud here. As part of your 4.1 lesson on adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator, you have your IXL J.1 adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and work through some practice examples with you today. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my IXL and we'll walk through some of these together. Okay? As you can see on my page, I'm already up to a SMART score of 75, but these practice problems are going to be very similar to the ones that you see leading up to it. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my problem, okay, below. So I have 4/5 plus 2/5 equals, and we got to determine what fraction this equals. Okay, so whenever we're adding or subtracting numbers with the same denominator, we want to continue to use that same denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and write that denominator in my answer over here on the right, and the denominator that we have is 5. Okay, once we have that, we can go ahead and add the top two numbers, the top numerators together to find our solution. So in this case, we have 4 plus 2, which gives us 6. Okay, so our final answer could be 6/5, or we could rewrite this number as a mixed number and have 1 and 1/5. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and keep my number as an improper fraction right away. So I'm going to submit my answer as 6/5 and see what we get. Looks like we got it. Alright, so very similar to our adding problem, when we're working with subtraction as well, we can rewrite our problem down below. So we have 2/3 minus 1/3 equals our fraction. Okay, so similar to our addition problem, we have the same denominator. We want to continue to use that same denominator on the bottom. Then we can go ahead and subtract the top from each other. So we have 2 minus 1 gives us 1. So our final answer in this one should be 1/3. Looks like we got it again. Okay, you may notice in a couple examples coming up, you may have 3 or more fractions. Okay, but in this case we have 1/2 plus 1/2. You may recognize this combination from other math classes or previous math classes. Okay, whenever we have 2/2 or two fractions as 1/2 plus 1/2, we want to keep the same denominator. We get 2, add together the top, we get 2. 2 over 2 is the same as 1. So 2/2 together equals 1. Alright, tough problem here. Okay, a little bigger numbers, but write it out together here. We have 11/14 minus 7/14. Okay, similar to the problems below, we want to keep the same denominator. Okay, so we're going to have the 14 on the right hand side in our answer, and then we're just going to go ahead and subtract the top. So 11 minus 7 equals 4. And you may be able to reduce this problem. Okay, so if we reduce it, we would get 2 over 7. So we can answer it either way. So I'm going to go ahead and answer it as 4 over 14. Okay, or 4 and 4/14. And that'll give us our answer. Similar to our last problem of subtraction, we're going to add together 9/14 plus 3/14, keeping the same denominator. Add the top, 9 plus 3 should give us 12, and we can reduce this again because they're both even numbers. We should end up with 6/7. Divided by 7. Final answer. And there we go. Okay, so there may be a couple other problems where you would see that they have the same, or having 3 or more fractions, but it's really the same. Continue to use the same denominator in your answer, and then just go ahead and add and subtract the top. Thanks for joining me today.